I low-key don't believe in tips, but hey.
That conversation, like, it's a touchy subject for some people. I'm glad I
Uh,
never had to be a waiter.
I don't know, because I used to bag groceries, which is not waiting, but it is
It's a service
yeah, it's
provided.
a service. I say I believe in tips just because you get treated like shit a lot, and
Yeah.
if you're provided good service, I'm not saying I expect a big tip, but you know what I'm saying, it'd be appreciated.
Right. But the other
I
thing about
understand
tips is,
you're,
like, I
you're
know that
working there
some.
for a reason.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you are, but like most of these jobs, which are terrible, like most of these restaurants, they give them less than minimum wage, and
Yeah,
that's
sit
absolutely
down.
terrible. So I like it sucked that you have to actually live off of tips to get like your standard wage. So the problem is more with the management rather than someone actually giving you a tip. You shouldn't have to live off of tips.
Yeah, it's like, why is
My
that legally
yeah,
flying?
That's fucking
yeah,
sucks.
that's
Like
the problem.
I know like this chick who I talked to, she was getting like $5 an hour. I think she
Yeah,
currently
that's not
waits
good.
and she getting like $5 an hour. I was like, that's absolutely terrible. And she stayed in Chicago. So I was like, how the fuck are you living?
And it's stuff like that. It's like nah, fam, that's not feasible. But like you said, my problem more so is you have a job and you work here. If you feel like the base pay isn't what you want, then leave.
You also got to look
Like
at it.
I
Well,
find a
maybe
new
that's their
job.
only option.
That is true. 'Cause
yeah,
I've been
yeah.
in a horrible situation as well, but I think I have a love hate. Have a love hate thing with tip. Like if you provide me the service, like an actual good service, and I feel good about you, I'll be like, all right, I'll tip her, and I have a conversation with whoever I'm eating with. I'll be like, yeah, I'll tip her or him, whoever. But it's like if you walk by when you see my glass not full multiple times, or you even stop and you don't say anything, or if like there's no type of you trying to show me your personality, I'm not gonna give you a tip because you provided me with the basic service.
I feel you on
I
that.
like I'll give a tip if it's actually deemed worthy, not if it's just because. That's my
Like
thing.
if you just gave some basic ass service and you weren't like checking for me, then I'm just gonna give you a small tip. But as long as you
Yeah.
was checking for me, I always give at least like a 10.
Like Hooters, they didn't deserve a tip, fam. They did not deserve a
Yeah,
tip.
absolutely.
They
I
did not
agree.
deserve a
That
tip.
was terrible service. Like don't nobody care that you cute. Like go somewhere, bro. Like
You know
I
who
want my
deserved a
food
tip?
at.
But the chick out Bunker Hill, she deserved her tip.
Oh
Right.
my
Oh
god,
yeah,
That's
she was
different.
hilarious. Yeah.
yeah, she was amazing.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. So it's like, okay.
It's all
Like
about the
she's
service you
memorable.
provided.
Exactly. Like if it's like that's my thing is love hate. Like if you provide it to me, yeah, I'm like you earned it, but I'm not just gonna give you a tip. But my overall mentality is I don't feel like I need to give anyone tip just because you're working a job that legally pays minimum wage, less than minimum wage.
right. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
sure.
I agree with that. It's like I hate to think like come in your pockets and have to ask you like, hey, how much are you making? Are you making below minimum wage? Like I shouldn't have to ask that in order to determine whether I want to give you a tip or not.
Like I
And
said, I sympathize with him just because I worked in service like that, and I'm gonna be real. Like you see the worst of
I understand.
mankind when you work with
They're entitled.
they will treat you like dog shit, fam. And so it's like I said, I always try to tip, like especially during Christmas, I always give a big tip or something like that because people used to always tip me really nicely. So I try to
I've
pay
seen
it forward.
people like just be straight
True.
assholes. I try my best. Like it's rare that like I get a meal at a restaurant and it's just absolutely not what I asked for. Period. Like it'd be like something very very small. Like the ketchup bottle isn't full or something. Like it's never anything wrong with my actual food.
Found a
Um,
hair in her egg.
yeah, like I don't like none of that's ever happened to me. But like people be just complaining about the smallest things, and it's like, why do you expect that person to still be nice to you if you're being an asshole to them? Like it's
What's the
still
name?
goes.
I remember specifically like the way they trained us is like if they have eggs and bread, you always put the eggs in the bag and then the bread over it, and that's it, nothing else. And it was like I did that, and like this white lady just cussed me the fuck out, and then went to my manager and tried to get me fired. Who puts bread on top of the eggs? This is fragile. You're out of control. And like you can tell she wanted to call me a nigger, but you know you gotta try to keep yourself poised. But it's just like, and they make a big scene. It's not even the fact that you're yelling it because I didn't give a fuck what that bitch said. It's just embarrassing that
It's
like
awkward.
it's a bunch of people shopping and they're watching, like they're humiliating you basically. So it's just
Yeah.
like I can sympathize with that shit.
I can feel that. Okay, yeah. But either way, my judgment stands still is if you earned it, then you earned it. If not, I don't feel like you're entitled to a tip regardless. And like one thing, like I had mixed reactions about the 15% tip thing because I feel like it's kind of like I feel like it's the jewelry industry where it's like, or like a strip club where it's like, all right, so this is the base pay, right? But we know like you're supposed to spend 2 months salary on a diamond, or hey, you're gonna make it rain or you broke, nigga. And it's like why do I have to pay a 15% tip as the minimum?
God bless you.
Just because.
I don't look at the percentage. I just look at what the service was like. If it was good, I'm gonna give you 10. If it was great, I'm gonna give you like 15 or 20. And then if it's a holiday, I may give you upwards of 50. I gave somebody 100 for Christmas just because I'm gonna be honest, like money don't mean nothing to me. Like it's just whatever. Like money's just security to me, but I don't give a fuck about it.
True.
That ain't shit to me, man.
I feel you, Ace. Nah, but nah. Like I feel you. Like if they good, I'll drop a nickel, hit them with the 5.
This guy,
they get that 50 cents
from really balling it up to 75. This fucking guy.
But yeah, like in tips, overall, and I was watching a Grade A video. That's why I started thinking about that again. Other than that, like Twitter always debates about tips. But Grade A, he actually brought up a good point. Like he said, again, this is some American shit, basically. And it really just needs to go up to management. Like if you're making below minimum wage, that shouldn't really. I hope that like shouldn't be your only situation that you can get a job at. But like it's a lot of these businesses that are just screwing people over because that should be illegal.
That problem could be solved if niggas just vote for Bernie because he wants to raise the minimum wage. But that makes too much sense.
It's like, how do you even get to the point where you're paying people below minimum wage though?
Like legally, and it doesn't make sense.
Especially when like food is so cheap. Like they make so much money off of one plate. Like most of their overhead comes from the place that they're renting. It's not the food.
Right. Where in America is minimum wage still $5?
No, I would imagine in the Midwest or down south.
The government, the federal limit is like $7.25, I think, or 7.
Right. Right. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. It's still like $7.25.
But the thing is, what they say is it's your say you'll get so and so. That's why they split the tips at the end. It would be like your base compensation is like $5 plus commission, which is tips, and it's like, all right.
And it shouldn't be like that.
No, it shouldn't. It should just be, I'm getting this much point blank period.
Right.
Call it a day.
Right. Get how much you pay for how many hours that you work. So you work 8 hours, you get a base rate of $7.25.
Like I feel like if y'all need to go on strike, go ahead and go on strike. Like I can get behind you saying I want my minimum wage to be this exactly, and not just give me $15 an hour. Despite that, I understand that. My thing is, I understand where people are coming from. We're like, I want a higher pay, but McDonald's, flipping burgers ain't worth $15 an hour. I understand, like, like it costs a lot in California and New York to live there, but maybe
I feel you that. But it's like until they make college more affordable, you really can't get mad at anybody for working at a fast food spot because some people just dead ass could not afford to go to college. Like I didn't go to college until I was 19 because my family just didn't have the money. And I'm hard-headed. I refused to take out a loan. So I had to wait until my dad's GI Bill had kicked in. But that's just how it is. And I was lucky enough to get that. Some people just can't afford to go to college, so then they got no choice to work that minimum wage and maybe hopefully save up to then go to college. So the real issue is not minimum wage. The issue is education. And that's really the center of all our issues in the country.